So Seki-san is good, right? He was arrested for murder.
Hi, Sholmes.
That's not Sholmes.
Oh, is that not Sholmes? Oh, that's not Sholmes. My apologies.
What do you think will happen now? Good question. What a strange situation for Mr. Natsume. Arrested for murder, but then the victim comes back to life. I think perhaps the victim was never dead in the first place. It seems very likely that Mr. Shamspear did consume poison, as we deduced. But it was an accident. Attempted suicide. Was it an accident, attempted suicide, or attempted murder? Till the truth can be established, I imagine the police will keep Mr. Natsume in custody. I suppose so. Let's hope it doesn't come to anything more than a night in the cells. Oh, what's this? A weirdo. He's looking at the brick wall. Looks like he's trying to see into Soseki-san's logic. What? No! Which one is the... No! The ground floor is the bottom floor, right? The ground floor is Shamspear. Soseki is first floor. He's on the first floor. Which is the second one up. You can't see into Soseki-san's lodgings because it's on the second floor. That's... No! Plus, also, the window is bricked up.
Except there's a hole in
Yeah, there's
the
a
other
hole
one.
in the ground floor lodgings. But that's not Soseki-san's. Huh? Oh god, he disappeared.
He just ran off.
Oh, he just disappeared. I feel sure I've seen that man somewhere before. Where was it? Well, we've done as much investigating here as we can, I think. Perhaps we have to go to the prison and speak with... No, I wasn't done speaking to the fucking landlord! I did this completely out of order, I guess, but that's fine. I'm sure we'll have to show Mr. Garadev the cup and or the letter, but that's okay.
I feel like the letter was like, yeah, I was evicting him.
Look, Mr. Naruto, he's just as sad as ever. Mr. Natsume, have the police finished questioning you now?
Welcome, student Mr. Naruto Esquire.
Oh, yeah?
What is he? Tell me, is he a ghost? Is he here to haunt me?
Let me guess. You're talking about Mr. Sholmes? He actually calls himself a great detective, Mr. Natsume, not a ghost.
But his diabolical deductions, they're not of this world. They've left me. I'm cursed, I'm telling you.
Oh yeah, the dead guy's not actually dead.
Ghosts!
Credit where credit is due, Mr. Naruto. You were heavily involved in the deduction, too. Well, yeah, we don't need to worry about that part. The victim that we all thought was dead has come back to life again. Now, in the absolutely worst case, you can only be tried for attempted murder. That's great, isn't it, Mr. Natsume?
It's terrible!
Oh!
I'm stuck in a cell, suffering for some silly wrong end of the stick. You didn't you confess you're a killer? Why the mustache? Constant questions! I don't need to defend my mustache!
I'm sorry to hear that.
Ah, that selfish shaster! Make up your mind! Are you dead or alive? If you're going to come back to life, why bother dying? Wickedly wishy-washy William.
He damned. Well, it seems likely that Mr. Shamspear was never actually dead in the first place.
Oh yes, that might make more sense. And I'm pleased that he's alive, of course. Our lively debate last night was much fun. I'd be sad to think it was our last. Oops.
Mr. Natsume, what did you just admit to? You did see the victim last night. You met with Mr. Shamspear, didn't you?
I plead the fifth. I demand lawyer present.
Present
Yeah, yeah.
and speaking. Who do you think I am? Please, Mr. Natsume, we need to hear your side of the story.
Fuck. Why am I cursed like this?
Because you're stupid.
That's everybody in this game. I feel like they need to curve the grading scale. Everybody's a little stupid in this series.
Yeah, but if you were intelligent, then they wouldn't be able to control you.
Can you tell us exactly what happened last night then, Mr. Natsume?
Nothing to tell. He damned! Mr. Naruto Esquire, I'm eternally grateful to you for helping with that cursed case yesterday.
The case that saw poor Miss Green hospitalized after she ended up with a knife in her back. If anything, you're not cursed because people around you don't die.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to believe that that was only yesterday. It feels like we did it a whole year ago.
After the trial was over, I trudged my weary way back to my lowly lodgings. And that evening at past 9 it must have been, I visited Mr. Shamspear.
So you did go to the victim's room then? Oh my god. As we feared.
I didn't do anything wrong. I'd never been to his room before. It was the first time.
Then what made you decide to go?
I bumped into him when I arrived back at the house. We got chatting and it developed into a discussion. We had to go out, so I bade him farewell.
That ties in with what Mr. Karadub said, that the victim went out and came back after 8.
We met again later that evening at around 9 or just after when I took him some nice tea I'd brewed as a gift.
So it was you who brought the tea that had clearly been drunk at the scene then. That's suspicious.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's exactly right. Blair! Romeo and Juliet! Who was the stronger? Who could beat Goku? I have a feeling that Romeo would get his ass kicked by Goku, but Juliet would be a closer fight. Such a stimulating subject, Shakespeare!
The debate became very heated, so you slipped poison into Mr. Shamspear's tea.
Oh yes! He said Yamcha could beat Goku and Romeo together, and I decided that enough was enough. I had to kill this fucker. Team Juliet, yeah!
God damn it. God damn it. I love it when I make up a bit and the game fucking supports it.
That flamboyant fella was fine fit. I swear it categorically.
Why do you think you're cursed?
Why do you think? I've been here in Great Britain for a year now, and in that time I've learned that it's no place for me.
Wow, Great Britain is not a place for foreigners? Who'd have fucking guessed? It can be very trying to live in a foreign land and adapt to the ways of another culture.
There are foreigners everywhere I look, and they all stare at me. They all laugh. That's the impression I get whenever I go out. It makes me scared to leave my room. Which is why I've become a recluse. But even in my room, I find no respite from my fears. I've moved more times than I can remember. Then 1 week ago, I moved into Briar Road.
But why? I mean, why did you choose that place? It doesn't seem very comfortable.
I'm out of money.
The rent is cheap. I have so little money it spoke to me.
The rent?
I feel like we just talked about this the other day.
Cursed? Cursed how?
The previous occupant, the man who lived there before I took the room, died there.
Oh no! We have to go back in time to a week ago when we did that case.
He's only a young man, but one morning he was found dead and no one could explain why.
Surely no one would want to live in a room with a history like that. I wonder if the whole fucking problem is that there's too much gas in the room and people are just passing out. I'll be supremely disappointed if that's all it is.
Dang it. When the letting out agent recommended the place, I wavered. But I want books, and books cost money. A horrible history is a small price to pay. When I realized that would mean I could buy more books, I signed the lease like lightning. Lease lightning. But after I moved in, I soon came to realize what I'd done. I realized how horrible that room's history really was.
Gosh, was it really so awful? How did the room's horrible history affect you, Mr. Natsume? What happened?
At first, it was just the feeling of beady eyes bored into my back, watching me.
This is gonna be the...
Do you think that might have been just your mind playing tricks on you?
No. My mind doesn't know any tricks. It was someone else. It's been one long nightmare ever since I was given the keys to the place.
A nightmare? You've been having bad dreams, you mean?
All the souls who died in that room lean over me in my sleep and try to strangle me.
That really is horrible.
And now I come to think of it, it happened again last night, too. The very same night that Shakespeare was writhing in agony from the poison in his body. I was in this verge of being suffocated silent by those miserable spirits in my room.
I think you are right. It's gonna be something like this, a gas leak.
Yeah, it's gotta be the gas leak. You simply must move out of that room as soon as possible.
What do you think I've been trying to do? I'm already searching for the next room with a history to call home.
I think perhaps you should try to avoid a combination with any kind of history at all. Otherwise, I'm scared that you yourself may become history.
I didn't need that thought.
Susato-san really knows how to make the man listen.
Anyway, go give this to Mr. Graham. It's my letter of refusal to pay rent. Mr. Lord of the Manor is worried about the curse on my room as well.
You mean Mr. Garadeb?
Yeah, he knows that if people keep dying there, he'll never be able to rent it out again.
Well, that's true. I, for one, wouldn't go near the place. He's chewing on his mustache. Perhaps that may explain why the landlord pays so much attention to the gas lamps and his tenants' movements. You mean because he's worried about their well-being? He does seem to have an unusually keen interest in the amount of gas in the pipes. There must be a reason why he keeps such close tabs on the occupants of his let rooms.
What do you mean he pays so much attention to the gas lamps?
Oh dear, no, it's nothing to do with you, Mr. Natsume. Please forget I said anything.
Oh, well, now you're talking about me behind my back as well.
What's important is that Mr. Shakespeare isn't in fact dead at all. Once he's come round and he's able to tell us what happened, we'll be able to get you released.
Yes, please. Oh, I do hope you're all right. Excuse me.
Inspector Gregson!
I couldn't help overhearing what you just said. And on that note, we're still accusing you of murder. Because the victim died again.
Oh.
Which do you want first?
I'll have the fish, please.
Nope, that's mine.
I'll have the
The
chips?
Nope, also mine. Always, every time, the bad news comes first. When hope is all you have, hold on to it. That's my guiding principle. Right, well, in that case, good news it is. Huh? Sorry, but it's just a lot easier to explain everything that way. Why'd you even ask me my preference then? Now, you might have heard the victim, Mr. Samsquare, was just unconscious. He's come round now.
Yes, we saw it happen in all its terrifying glory.
He's still being treated by the doctors, but we've managed to get a written statement from him already.
Oh, isn't that wonderful, Mr. Natsume?
Oh, thank goodness. It's all over then. I can leave this sombre cell.
He accused you.
Sorry, no, that's not on the cards. What?
Why ever not, Inspector?
Mr. Samspear has implicated someone as being responsible for what happened last night.
Implicated someone? Oh dear.
You don't mean... I'm sorry to say I do, yes. He's pointed the finger at you, Mr. Natsume. Grrr! My sweet poison, did he seeketh to end my life? That wicked... fucking... Whatever. Soseki Natsume.
No.
So I'm afraid you'll be appeared in court as planned. You'll be one to make the necessary preparations.
I'm having a heart attack.
Blunt.
He has the worst luck.
And so, once again, Soseki-san found himself having to take the dock in the Old Bailey. Whether his room was haunted or whether he was just terribly unlucky, I knew I had no choice. The following day I would represent him in court, and do my utmost to break the curse that blighted him. Wait a second, we didn't finish talking to Mr. Garadeb! Hold on! Okay, I guess
the
Whatever.
cup and the letter weren't that important.
yeah, I guess not. This actually feels like it might be the first case in this, like, duology that we go back to the investigation. Because every other case in the first game was either entirely investigation, entirely court, or investigation and then court, and never again after that. So I wonder if this might actually have a second investigation segment.
Maybe.
Which is weird. I seem to get chills down my spine and break out in a nervous sweat all at the same time. Well, I didn't think I'd be back here so soon.
There's my line! Good morning, Vietnam!
Good morning, Mr. Natsume.
It's only 2 days ago that I was declared not guilty here.
Yes, we somehow managed to prove he didn't stab Miss Green in the back.
But now this! Another morning, another murder, and here I am again in this hellhole.
Might I remind you that neither case is a murder. We know that for sure.
Can't keep coming to court.
I'm beginning to think he's right. It really does seem as though he's cursed. Mr. News. I'm sleepy. Mr. Natsume, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
So here we are again.
Yes, again. Why so chipper? Judicial Assistant Miss Miko Toba Esquire. What's the bad news?
Oh dear, you heard, did you?
You were quite loud, yes. If you come in shouting at the top of your voice, people can't help hearing what you say!
Oh, I'm sorry. You've done nothing wrong, Mrs. Sato. Now, what is it? Nope, he yelled at me, so now I'm not going to tell you.
The victim has died.
It seems that the prosecution in today's trial will be led by Lord Beric von Zeeks. Oh, wow. Well, what a coincidence. It's almost as if fucking England only has one prosecutor. Van Zeeks?
Grr! Oh no, oh no, oh no, 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 no. Hello, gay boy.
The so-called Reaper of the Bailey, the most legendary prosecutor in the land. In the trial 2 days ago, he pursued Soseki-san and I relentlessly. Of course, by the skin of our teeth. We managed to pull through, but still. Perhaps Mr. Natsume's acquittal in the last trial wasn't the end of the matter, after all. Yes, I know what you're thinking. The legend of the Reaper that says, nothing can save a person in the dock when Lord Van Zieks is the prosecutor. Even though canonically, by this point, he's already lost twice, specifically to Ryunosuke.
Oh no!
Even if a person is found not guilty, the accused will meet a mysterious end one way or another. And we've experienced it firsthand. Yeah, I guess that's true. Fucking... oh my god. Natsume is the first person that got a not guilty verdict from Van Zieks.
And didn't die.
Who was the accused in the 5th case of the first game? That was Gina, right? Yeah, so she would be the second one. This definitely feels like they wanted to put this in the first game, but they didn't have time.
Do I have to put up with those ice cold eyes boring into my soul again?
Speaking of boring...
Cursed by evil spirits and now by the Reaper. Pair of petrified perils, potentially.
Well, if it's a potentially, at least you appear to have hope, Mr. Natsume.
Locum studi, Mr. Naruto Esquire.
Yeah?
I'm innocent. You have to believe me. You more than anyone now.
Oh, look at those puppy eyes.
Don't worry. I'll be your steadfast ally every step of the way in this battle. I promise. I know this is only case 2, but this really... You know, actually, it does probably feel like it's not going to have another investigation segment. Like, if it's just the gas, this is such a simple case, and it's just about getting to that point.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I honestly wonder if this is the shortest case in this duology, because I can't imagine it's going to be very, very complicated.
The only thing I can think of is the fact that we had that stranger looking through the window.
Yeah, I think he's the... Because in the first game, when he and Shamspear showed up, they were, like, at odds with each other. They were, like, arguing in the street. I genuinely could not tell you what it was about right now. Because it was so long ago and so unimportant. Let's go. Oh yes, I forgot to say. I'm afraid he won't be able to make it. Mr. Sholmes, I mean. That's okay, I mean, that's probably for the best. Oh! If he were here, I might be tempted to rely on his help. And that could be seen as a weakness. If Lord Van Zieks were to notice, he'd prey on it immediately, mercilessly. At least that's my gut feeling. Mr. Naruto?
You're right. Yes, you're so right.
I don't want Van Zieks to bully me in front of my boyfriend.
Well said, locum student Mr. Naruto Esquire. Well said.
I swear on the sword at my side, and on the spirit of Kazuma that it harbors. I'll show him what a Japanese lawyer can do. I'll set you free. With honor! Just fucking draws his sword and cuts Natsume's head off. Naruto-san! You've committed a time paradox!
And murder!
And murder! I'm not sure which is worse at this point.